What's up? What's up? Welcome into another episode of Jammin with J Money, man. It's me and my guy Jordan here. Hey, this my guy Jordan. I hope his team get it done for him today, man. We're gonna talk about that in a second, though. But what's up, Jordan? How everything going, man? We got a show today and tomorrow. Then we're gonna be off for Christmas, man. It's almost time for Christmas. We're trying to get to some money. What's up, Jordan? How was your weekend?
Man, not bad, not bad. Betting wise, took it a little easy. The only play I had yesterday was that play we missed on the Clippers and the Thunder. Just way too high scoring first quarter for us to cash that one. It slowed down in the second half, but man, I was a little shaky watching that one at the beginning of that one, seeing 60 plus points put up in the first quarter. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't a bad weekend. Hit a couple props on Saturday, but overall down for the last 2 days. But only I think I made like 4 plays the entire 2 days, so it wasn't anything big. But man, yesterday was crazy. I know it's the season of tanking and everything, but what in the hell happened to Dallas yesterday, blowing that 30-point lead in Toronto? Man, that's the craziest game I've seen in a while.
Yeah, and they weren't. I know it's season tanking. We know the Mavs aren't tanking, no, Jordan. They're gonna be a playoff
Yeah,
team,
I'm just
but
saying.
they were up 30 points in the second half. I mean, and the Raptors just came, brought it to them, scored 47 points. And so, look, guys, I had the under. The under was my play of the day yesterday, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I played it. I wrote it off. I mean, with that, I said, what they got to score 70 points in this fourth quarter to mess me off, and I'd be damned. They scored 68 points, so I barely end up cashing that under by 1 point. The final score, I don't think that matters, but the Mavs, man. I mean, if you had the Mavs there plus 1.5, plus 2.5, I mean, that is a sick beat there. You think? I mean, obviously they get the game in hand. The Raptors start going to this press, and the Mavs just couldn't break it. I mean, they almost look like a college team. They just absolutely folded, man. They couldn't do anything. And once the home team gets the momentum, it was really much. It was done from there. So once they got the momentum, it was all downhill from there. Mavs ended up taking an L. I can't say though, I didn't have the side. I was all over the under. They'll end up cashing me. I got lucky with that one, man. I'll be perfectly honest with you, but like I say, hey, I would take that all day. And if you had the Raptors, man, hey, go get you a lottery ticket, man. You know what I'm saying? You're a bad guy there. You're one lucky guy for sure on that one. But yeah, they end up cashing. I'm glad the Raptors came back and expended all that energy, come back and get that win. We finna talk about that one in just a sec. In just a sec. And I hope people love the Raptors today. Yeah, they get 7 points. Seems like a lock. The Raptors won 5 straight games, man. The Raptors should be a lock today, right? But yeah, Boston handled the Hornets yesterday. I actually thought that the Hornets could have possibly kept that one close, and they did pretty much all game. And then the Boston outscored them by 19 in the fourth quarter, 35-16. So just absolutely killing. But I can't believe that the Raptors scored 47 in the fourth quarter. That was crazy, man. But the Mavericks, they pissed that one away, man. So yes, then the Bucks, the Pacers versus the Bucks. Pacers come out 10-0. I'm like, oh, let me find out. Them boys came to play today. The Pacers. No, Giannis say, hold on now. Hold on. Y'all, you at my crib. I know y'all nice, but we even more nice. Wes Matthews playing some good defense in that game. Bucks are a really good all-around squad, man. I told you guys before the season, it's going to be the best team in the East. What do you see, man? I don't see anybody stepping in. I don't see anybody that's better than them. The Pacers, they end up having a terrible second half, and no one, Jordan, only scored 34 points. Anything that you take from that game yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, the Pacers on the road without Victor Oladipo against top-tier teams are not going to be a team you want to bet on full game. They looked great in the first half yesterday. That was just a complete turnaround, I think, and it was mainly the Bucks coming out and just basically saying, okay, we're going to start lockdown on defense, and that was what I saw initially. I was trying to flip back and forth between that and the Clippers game last night as they were on at the same time. But, yeah, I mean, Malcolm Brogdon, Miles Turner, those guys came to play last night, but then all of a sudden the second half and once Milwaukee turned that key on and started that engine, man, they're really tough to beat no matter who you are, and especially the Pacers down their best player on the road. But that I think it plays a little bit into tonight. We can jump into that here in just a second once we're done recapping yesterday. But I think getting blown out like that, especially being competitive in the first half, and then like you said, only scoring 34 points in the second half, it's going to be a little extra motivation tonight for them, I think.
Exactly. Yeah, and then we did have the one last thing that I did want to say. So yeah, the Clippers OKC, yeah, the first quarter was really what's good. I mean, I think the first half period, man, when they got the 120 points in the first half, I was like, man, that's gonna be tough. And we still almost cashed that one though. I mean, obviously late fouls, late buckets, we still almost cashed that under, and I can't say I did need that one too, but it's all good, man. Can't get all of them. Definitely hopped on OKC live there, got some plus money. And I definitely thought that obviously with Beverly Beverly sitting out in that spot, and no Lillard. That OKC was live in that spot. Paul George going back to OKC. So it's just things you got to take into account. And the Nuggets, man, went up there and smacked the Lakers. And I can't say, man, at the half, it was some crazy stuff going on in that game. I'm not gonna say fishy, but I know at the half that they still had the Lakers plus 111 on the live money line. That was super fishy to me. Obviously they were at the house and lost 2 straight games. I know a lot of people slammed the Lakers at halftime. What do you see what happened? They came out in the second half, didn't get any calls. And the Nuggets went out and pulled away from that one. Ended up winning that game by 24. So I mean, hey, I'm just saying, man. What's up, Junior? Any quick thoughts you had to say about yesterday's game before we get to it today? What's up, bro?
I'm good, bro. I'm actually really not that good. I've been trying to get over this cold. But as far as last night's action, hey, you were watching that game. You seen Anthony Davis get his knee hyperextended, then his knee buckled again later in the second half. That's not good, bro. That didn't look good.
Yeah,
I mean, he kind of walked it off,
or
but
something too. I think he
what's
got hit
that?
like in the ribs or something too. He was grimacing and stuff. I was just telling that he fragile, one of the most fragile players. But sorry to cut you off. What was you saying?
No. You're absolutely right, bro. There's always something happening to him, bro. There's always something wrong, as talented as he is. But obviously, without LeBron, it's not the same squad. Can I give a shout out to Kyle Lowry, who a lot of times for years, when him and DeRozan used to be choking in the playoffs, I always give Kyle Lowry a hard time. But last year in the NBA Finals, he really stepped up. And even though he's been playing, not to his capability in the last couple of weeks since he came back from injury, he's a dog. You know what I mean? Yesterday, he had 20 points in the fourth quarter. They had no business winning that game down 30 with 8 minutes to go in the third quarter, but they did. So I'm just going to give Kyle Lowry a quick shout out because I always give him a hard time.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. And it's tough. I can't stand Kyle Lowry, bro. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I don't like the way he plays. He is a dog. And don't get me wrong, he's a good player. I remember all the way back from
for 1 second? I'm going to tell you why you can't stand Kyle Lowry. There's no player in the NBA, and I promise you this. If anyone listening to this that watches Raptors games will attest to what I'm about to say. There's no player in the NBA that argues foul calls more than Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry has never committed a foul in his career, according to Kyle Lowry. And that annoys me about him more than anything else, bro.
And just real quick, I know. So look, he's one of the best offensive fouls. And don't get me wrong, a lot of the times he'll run down the court and beat the player to the spot, and it'll actually be offensive foul. Some of them, some of them are like just clear flops, man. And I can't stand it. It's the reason why I don't really respect Harden. Yeah, he's a good offensive player, and he carried that last game when he so-called mixed Paul George. He carried the shit out that ball. I don't care what nobody say. I'm a basketball player,
or at least
bro.
double dribble almost.
I'm calling carry on that all day. We ain't gonna spend too much time on it, and Lowry, I'm sorry, bro. He just flops way too much. I can't stand it. He argues way too much to the refs, but some of those offensive fouls, and he did it a couple times in the fourth quarter yesterday. He did play 42 minutes as well, man. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. I mean, they probably not gonna sit Lowry tonight, but I think that they should, man. I mean, they're not gonna have no energy tonight. We got to go ahead and get into today's games, man. But I just had to say about Lowry real quick. I mean, he got flops. Half the fouls they call, he sells it to the refs, man. And that's basically what I'm saying. So he makes it, even sometimes it is a foul. Most of the times he sells it so well that the ref just has to call a foul. I can't stand it, bro. Just go out there and play basketball. If you're a good basketball player, you guys are going to win. You play good defense, bro. You don't have to do all that. You know what I'm saying? It really does irk me, man, because I'm a hooper. But let's go ahead and get into today's games. I don't care about the Hawks and Cavs. I don't care about this shit, man. The 76ers, Pistons, if one of y'all got to play in this shit, I want to talk about this Raptors and Pacers game, since we already been talking about, man. We got tale of two halves here, man. We got the Raptors coming off largest comeback in franchise history, 30-point fourth quarter comeback. Yeah, that's nice. They had the momentum, had scored 47 points. Don't forget the way that they looked before that, though, and that's the way me personally, I think that's the way the Raptors supposed to look. Yeah, Dallas folded. They probably got way too comfortable. It happens, but the way the Raptors looked in those first 3 quarters, that's the team they are right now, man. They're totally outmatched. They got a lot of injuries. Van Fleet is still looking like he's a little injured out there, but Larry pretty much had to carry him yesterday. They missing Siakam on the offensive end. Like I say, that under shouldn't even been that much of a sweat to me. That's kind of why it pissed me off, man. It was an easy under. Then that fourth quarter come, I'm like, bro, don't tell me I'm finna get screwed off the under like this, man. End up cashing, but I'm glad the Raptors came back and won the game the way that they did. I'm glad the way that the Pacers lost the way that they did versus the Bucks. Only scored 34 points in the second half. Now they come back to the house absolutely pissed. The Pacers don't have a Christmas game. The Raptors do. They got the Celtics on deck. I don't think that the Raptors even care about this game. I think they come out here going through the motions. We got a game on Christmas. They're not gonna have no energy. You know what I'm saying? In the second half, I just think the Pacers gonna absolutely kill them boys tonight, man. They 4-0 ATS last 4 home games. Brogdon didn't have a good game last night. 5 for 19, 10 points. It's gonna be a bounce back spot. Sabonis playing. I don't know if Lamb gonna come back or not, but like I said, without them having a Christmas game, this is gonna be their Christmas game. Oh, y'all don't want to give us some more kick? Okay, all right, Raptors, y'all got a Christmas. Okay, we finna go and bust you boys up. Then y'all go and play on Christmas. I think this is a total Pacers spot. I'm glad the way they got smacked yesterday. Glad the Raptors came back. I think it's a total Pacers spot, man. I think I just persuaded a lot of people to take the Pacers, man. What you thinking, Jordan? What you think about your team today, baby?
Yeah, I mean, coming off the way they looked in the second half yesterday against the Milwaukee Bucks, there's going to be a lot of motivation by the Indiana Pacers to come out and play extremely well and take this Toronto Raptors team that is extremely hurt and missing their most important player and the guy that's going to mean the most to this game, whether or not the Pacers cover the spread, obviously, and Pascal Siakam. I think I know why you don't like Kyle Lowry is because he plays really smart. He's what is he, like 12 years into the league? And the dude used to be a pretty solid defender. I remember going to see him in his early days back when he was with Memphis before he got traded to Houston. And he was actually a pretty good defender back then in the early days. He's not so much anymore, but he does that stuff, I think, because now he knows he's not as good of a defender as he used to be. So he's got to do different things like flop and complain about calls. So he gets them in the fourth quarter when he's complaining about them all through the first 3 quarters. But tonight, he's going to be complaining a lot because Malcolm Brogdon's about to give him his business tonight. I think that Brogdon's going to come out and show him who's the because they kind of play similarly, I guess, if you kind of look at both of them on one-on-one. But yeah, I mean, this Pacers team, I think top to bottom with the way that Toronto has looked and with how injured they are right now, I think they're definitely the side if you're going to play one in here. I'm leaning towards the overs a little bit just with both teams coming off the back-to-back. I think that really hurts defense for both of these squads. And on top of that, I think the first half over is the one you really need to look at. It's at 108.5 right now. These two teams actually play a lot faster in the first half than they do in the full game. I think it's probably going to be a 102, 103 style of pace here early on in this game. You combine that with both teams coming off the back-to-back and almost probably not a lot of defense coming from Toronto. On their third game in 4 nights. I actually think the over in the first half may be a little bit of a better play than the Pacers, but I'm right there with you, man. We were talking before the show. If there's a full game play that I'm going to jump on, which I haven't yet, I got 3 first halves for you today, but no full games. But there is one I'm going to jump on. It's going to be the Pacers -7.
I think so, man. I can't say, Jordan. Me personally, I was looking like in the under in this one. I don't like the total though. So, and the last time you said, I'm sure you know more about the Pacers than I do, your hometown team. The last game you were saying that you liked the over, and I was leaning towards the under. And it ended up going over, and so you could be up to something. This one moving up. I remember it was at 209 last night when I was looking at it, and the Pacers was -6, and it was 209.5, and I like the under, and I woke up 210.5. Now it's up 211.5. So you could be on to something. It's scaring me away, but I love the Pacers here, man. Lowry, 42 minutes last night, man, the highest on the team. They should sit Lowry tonight, man. I think so. Sit his old ass tonight, man. And hey, rest up for the Celtics. It's probably not gonna happen, but if I was them, I would. But there would take a huge blow to their offense. So I definitely think. But the Raptors, I'm telling you right now, I told y'all they're an under team right now, though. So if this game does go over, that means the Pacers put up 120 or something. But I can't say the Pacers.
Yes.
The Raptors are really good off. They're a bad offensive team right now, and really they're still good on defense. That's why you know what I'm saying. I said they're going to be a real good under team here in the near future, missing all of those offensive bodies, mainly Siakam, but. It's tough for me to bet over with the Raptors, but I hope that helps. I mean, I think if it goes over, that means the Pacers are going to smash them, and that's really the only thing I like right now. What you got on this game, Junior?
I got the full game under 211. I agree with Jordan, though, that the first half will probably go over because, especially the Pacers, they play way faster in the first half than they do in the second half if you just look at their pace throughout the course of the season. But I like the under in this full game because Kyle Lowry played so many minutes. Nobody else on the team played 30. Sorry, just this cold is killing me. Yeah, nobody else on the team played over 30, but Kyle Lowry played a lot, and you can't expect Fred VanVleet to play a lot of minutes either. He's just coming off of a knee injury. This is a back-to-back situation, so I just feel like scoring is going to be a problem, but I do believe in the Raptors' defense, and I think that they can hold the Pacers to probably somewhere close to like 110 points or less. And I think the Raptors are probably going to struggle to score 100 because yesterday, sorry guys, yesterday they scored 47 points in the fourth quarter and still only ended up with 110 points, bro. So you already know, like they're not gonna score 47 points again in a quarter tonight. So the likelihood of them scoring under 100 points, in my opinion, is very high. And we've seen that the Pacers defense can struggle. I know it's the Bucks, but it's not like the Raptors don't play defense themselves. The Pacers were held to 89 points yesterday, so I just think that the Raptors could probably hold them to 110 or less, and I definitely think the Pacers can hold the Raptors to under 100 points tonight.
Right, yeah, and we're gonna get to the next game. This one just really does interesting because it's crazy. Because I'm with you, Junior, and I think that it's two good defensive teams. I think they are gonna slow it down tonight. It's an Eastern Conference matchup. I don't like that the total's going up, and I don't like that last time Jordan was on the over and the total's going up that game as well, and it flew over. That it scares me, man, because I'm like, damn, Jordan might be up to something. The last game, the total moving up just like this one and this one. It is pretty low, I can't say, but I don't think the Raptors gonna touch 100, man. I just don't, man, and their defense is still gonna be there. It is a low total. Like I say, I just hope the Pacers win by 8 points, man. But I think it's going to be double digits. I think they're going to smack them up. I love the fact that the Raptors play the Celtics next, and it's on Christmas Day. You see teams, but especially with that huge win, when they have a team like play another game right before Christmas, and it's not really a lesser opponent, but they got a huge game next. They kind of sort of just go through the motions. That's what I think we see, and I think the spot just sets up perfectly, man. I told you guys like 4 or 5 asterisks. You know what I'm saying? Why I like the Pacers tonight. I'm all over it, man. Let's get to the next game, man. Real quick, did you guys have something on the Hawks and Cavs or the 76ers or Pistons? I mean, I could break them down, but I'm not betting either one. And Joel Embiid is questionable tonight as well with an illness. They probably feel like they can beat Detroit without him. That's a whole nother thing right there. I'm not betting the Cavs. Their favorite is, again, they won 2 in a row. The Hawks, they get John Collins back tonight. I definitely want to tell you guys that he's not going to have a minutes restriction or anything. I'm not betting it. So did you guys have anything on those 2 games, Jordan and I want to get to the Wizards and Knicks. My guy Nagel Ned said he gonna beat Knicks courtside. We got to talk about that.
I might jump on Atlanta, but I'm definitely actually played pretty well at home this season, so it's probably a game I'm going to stay away from. And like you said, I can't touch Philly Detroit until I know something about Joel Embiid one way or the other. So yeah, we can go to the Garden if you're ready to go.
Exactly. And my guy say, Junior, you over there on the gasolina. That's what they say. Junior, my guy just going to look through the weather, man. Look through the weather. Did you have some on the first 2 games, Junior?
Nah, sorry. I had the over in that Raptors game, but I'm sorry, the under in that Raptors game. But the only other plays I got are on the Bulls, Magic, and Utah Jazz, Utah and Heat. So
okay, cool. I got you. Yeah, we'll get to that.
As for that Philly Detroit game, I mean, 6 points is a lot of points to be laying on the road, bro.
Right. Yeah, the Knicks, I mean, them boys, I don't like, and my guy Jordan just telling me here before, so I took the Knicks last night at the 3. I was real comfortable about it. I woke up this morning, it was 4.5, and it didn't surprise me whatsoever. The Wizards, they're missing pretty much I ain't gonna say everybody, still got players over there, but when you already missing Thomas Bryant, Hachimura, you don't have Wagner in there, and then you telling me Bertans is going out as well. It's one of the players that been he's one of the players they can rely on, hit 6 threes in the first half. The past couple games he has struggled, and that's the reason why the Wizards have looked totally different. Obviously they came back versus the Raptors, but that was the Raptors, but the last game, the Wizards getting smacked by the Philly, and I told y'all that they was in their revenge spot. Bertans only had 10 points. They look totally different now. He's not playing at all this game. Isaiah Thomas going to the crowd. Go holler at my boy over here trying to get a free Frosty. He gets suspended a couple games. I'm like, bro, the Wizards are just totally decimated. I think Beal you definitely got to look towards Beal props, or you fantasy guys, you definitely got to look to Beal. He's the whole team tonight. If you get in foul trouble or something, it's going to be a long night for them boys. I see Beal could go for 50 tonight, and they could still lose. I don't see how collectively they get the other 50 points. I just don't. You got Schofield in the starting lineup as well. He wasn't even playing well off the bench, man. So, yeah, it was a nice player at Tennessee, but you throwing these rookies into the mix, man. The Wizards are already a small team. They don't have a lot of scoring. It's Bill and everybody else, man. Bonga plays like that, still been kind of playing some defense. Mahimi, but the Wizards still, as a whole, are not a defensive team. Absolutely terrible. The Knicks aren't a good scoring team whatsoever. They have come out 2 straight losses here. They were against good teams, the Heat and the Bucks, obviously. Before that, they looked good. I mean, they smacked a couple teams around here at the house, the lesser teams. The Knicks, they 4-0 ATS last 4 off one day rest, and 4-0 last 4 at home versus a team with the losing road record. And so, like I said, the Wizards are just totally outmatched here. I hate the fact that they trying to even it up. Oh, Morris out, doubtful with a little left sore Achilles, and if his Achilles hurt, if it's hurting, he really should sit. But I think that's BS, man. Come on, they just trying to even it up. So they know that the Wizards are just totally decimated. Then you see Taj Gibson. Oh, now he questionable. Come on, man. Y'all done had a whole day off. Wasn't nobody questionable yesterday, and then now all of a sudden people questionable doubt. That's BS, man. Now the line back down 3.5. Like I told my guy Jordan, that's the last thing I say about it. The Knicks do lose this game. They are definitely tanking and tried to lose it on purpose. I feel like that's the only way, man. The Wizards, and this is a really high total too. I was looking at last night, it was 232 down to 228. Now people realizing the Wizards, I know they don't play no defense, but they're not gonna have too much scoring tonight. And the Knicks, we know that they're bottom of the league in scoring as well. It's a tricky cap, especially with these late injuries. I did already take the Knicks -3, so I'm rooting for. I'm not betting out of it. I'm rooting for it, but if they do lose this game, they're definitely losing it on purpose, man. So what you got to say on this game, Junior?
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to stay away all season. I've been saying, I don't want to get involved with games with two bad teams. I've been touching totals with these type of games, so I can only look to the total here. That being said, and 228, I'm just not really sure what to think. I can't say. I mean, we had this conversation on Saturday, bro. Kind of staying away for the Wizards for now, man. I don't know what to make of this team. I don't understand them. I don't have any. If you ask me to explain to you how do the Wizards score so many points, I don't know, man. They're just running up and down, chucking shots, and guys like, you know what I'm saying, Ish Smith could drop 30 on any given night. I just hate these teams that you just don't know what's going to happen with them, bro. So if I could just give a little bit of proper analysis, I guess I would say that the Knicks front court should dominate in this game, because who on Washington could stop anybody on the Knicks in terms of rebounding, in terms of playing inside. The Knicks are one of the few teams that still have guys that post up. All of their forwards go to the rim hard and shoot a bunch of free throws. They're number one in the NBA in offensive rebound. So from that perspective, I guess the Knicks probably would be the side I lean towards.
Exactly, yeah, and even with Morris now, obviously he's one of their best players. And that's not really good when Marcus Morris is one of your best players, but they still got when you look at the lineups, man. Like you say, Ish Smith and Bradley Beal, that's it, man. I mean, Ish Smith gonna have to go for 30, and Bill gonna have to go for 50, and then where do the other 20 points come from? I mean, a couple players got 5. That's just for them to get to 100. If the Knicks want to win this game, man, they should win by more than 5. But that's like my guy Jordan pointed out. If they're tanking, then you know what I'm saying, they're not going to want to win it, and it'll show. It'll be interesting to see, but still, this Knicks lineup versus this Wizards lineup, I know the Knicks are bad as well, but they're at the house. When the Wizards missing Bertans, they were getting it done, yeah, you know what I'm saying, but now they missed too many pieces. Now, man, they were already missing too many pieces. Now Thomas and Bertans, it's way too much, man. It's way too much. You got to look towards the Knicks here. If Taj Gibson does go ahead and go, I'll put more on it, -3.5, but like I say, I did take the -3 last night. Didn't expect more. I thought it was going to be a full goal, and I thought it was going to be easy with the Knicks. Like I said, it didn't surprise me this morning at 4.5. We'll see what late injuries happen, but if everything stands right now, like Taj Gibson does go ahead and play, I'm telling you, the Knicks still should cash this as long as they want to win, man. I think that it's as early as it is, I think that they could still be tanking and still kind of win a few of these games, man. We'll see though. What you think about this game, Jordan?
I think I told you this before the show, but this is a game that I'm staying away from, and here's why. This is the season. I know 'tis the season for the holidays and everything, but 'tis the season to grease up those treads, baby, because it is tanking season. These two teams have combined 15 wins between the two of them. This game against one another might mean something come April when we're talking about who's going to get the higher lottery odds. Obviously, it's not as big of a deal since they changed the rules and the top team doesn't get 25% or whatever. But this is a game that neither team wants to win. And you see that with now the Knicks injuries coming out. Taj Gibson is not sick, Marcus Morris's Achilles don't hurt. These are phantom injuries, or more than likely they are phantom injuries. Taj Gibson's old. This was probably a planned one from the beginning, to be honest. And Marcus Morris, this is just a game where the Knicks might be trying to lose, like Jay said. I mean, I'd be really scared if I were you, Jay, because this is the Knicks team that has started to play a little better, and I think that has the front office concerned a little bit because they were hoping for a number 1 overall pick this year with the way they started off. Man, I'm just saying, like, this is a game that could mean something at the end of the year with regards to losses more than wins. And so take that information and run with it as you will. But I'm staying the hell away from this game.
Yep. Well, I still like the Knicks, and if they even if they do win this game or lose it, it's still what 40 plus games in season. That's my only thing, Jordan. I mean, I know that it could play it to some, but it's a lot of time to go. You know what I'm saying? Especially the Knicks over there in the East. What if they went on a little run? I think they had high aspirations for this year, and I think some of these teams, man, got more pride than it. I know it's the Knicks, but I know some of these teams got more pride than it to be out there playing for a draft pick, especially midway through the season, and especially some of these Knicks players. Man, they actually got a few veterans on their team. I think if anybody want to start tanking, it should be the Wizards. You know what I'm saying? Especially with them saying they probably won't even have Wall back the whole year. So we'll see in this spot. But everything's telling me, even like you say, it'll be if even more injuries come out. It's not anything huge for me, but I did bet the Knicks -3, and I like the Pacers -7. Let's get to the next game, man. I know my guy Junior want to talk about this one, Jazz versus the Heat. One where I think I don't know why the line is this low, to be honest with you. I know the Jazz have Conley still out. Jazz have won 5 straight games. I know they were down by double digits versus the Hornets. Showed some moxie, came all the way back there and covered that one by half a point. People had the Hornets +6.5. I know they was pissed, man. Jazz ended up winning that game by 7. Like I say, won 5 straight. They don't really play the will on the road. They have won the past two on the road. It went against a team like the Heat. He seemed to be rolling right now. I had made a bet on it. The Heat obviously would seem like to play all the stats pour into the Heat as well. When I'm looking deep into this one, I don't know. I just got a little funny feeling about it. I think the Heat are right side. I'm probably not going to get there though. I'm gonna stay away from it. What you got, Junior? I know you liking the Heat in this one.
Come on, J Money. You already know what it is. The only reason you haven't put money on it is because the line is too low. This price is so cheap that I feel like I woke up and it was Black Friday again. It doesn't even make sense. There's no reason
it looks low.
that you should think
super low.
It's low, bro. It's low. Like, yeah, I get it. Utah's won, 5 games in a row. Let's take a look at who they've beaten in these 5 games. They beat Minnesota. They beat the Warriors, the Magic, the Hawks, and the Hornets. That doesn't convince me that this price reflects what's really going on between these two teams. Because if you look at who the Heat have been playing, the Heat have lost a couple games, but for the most part, they've been playing top tier teams, and they just look like the stronger team, especially when they play at home. I was going to hit the first half pretty heavy, and I swear to you, the reason why I did it is the same reason that you're hesitant to take it, because this price gives me this weird feeling that something's up that I don't know about. Because, like, for example, the Heat just got Dragic back in the last game. He scored 18 points and had 8 assists. The Heat had he had 9 players play less than 30 minutes in their last game, and the Utah Jazz in their last game, because Conley was out, every single one of their starters played 35 plus minutes. I just think from every way you look at it, the way these teams are constructed, the way that they're playing right now, I don't understand this price, but I'm all over it.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I was thinking the same thing. I can't say when I looked at everything, I mean, the Heat are the much better team. And like you say, the Jazz hadn't really been playing anyone. If they had Conley in this game, I think that would actually bode well better for the Heat. I think that the Jazz been playing better without Conley. It is tough that it's on the road, and like I said, I mean, they have been playing cupcakes, and they're not as good on the road. That in itself make me want to take the Heat. I don't like that because it really opened at 5, and then they come back to 4.5. I'm like why, bro? The Heat 12-1 at the house. Like I say, I might end up getting there. I mean, why aren't the Heat 6.5 here? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, boy, it's a head scratcher. I mean, it could just be a little early Christmas gift. It could be. I just think I saw better stuff out there. But do y'all have anything on this Chicago and Orlando? You look at Orlando, man. The last 5 games, they last in the league in defensive efficiency. That shit was crazy to look at. I still think that deep down they, have good defensive tendencies. But the numbers don't say it. Last 5, I'm like, damn, 30th. And you look at the Bulls, they number 2 last 5. So I mean, that's why you see this total coming down from 209 to 207. I know a lot of people. I know the Bulls have been cashing tickets here as a dog. I can't say I don't like the spot for them. Last game of a road trip, they've won 2 of the 3 on this road trip. It's been some comeback wins. Obviously that one versus the Pistons was another comeback win. And that was a damn good one as well. But like I say, they've been playing real well on the road here. 4th game of a road trip, though. Chris, are they ready to get back to the house? The Magic, they coming off a 4-game road trip where they lost 3 or 4 in the last 3 games. So I know a lot of people think, and I've been on the Bulls a lot lately. I think this could be a spot where Orlando come back to the house and get right. Like I said, I hadn't took it. I don't like the fact that I got the worst of the line. If I'm not mistaken, it opened up originally at 3. If I'm not mistaken, I know I'm seeing 4 right here, but I think it opened up originally at 3, then got bid up to 4, and then now to 5. So I mean, you're losing a lot of value there, but I think it's a reason for that. The Magic come back to the house and they get right spot. Bulls last game, a little 4-game road trip. Like I said, they have been playing well, but really, I can't tell you. I mean, the Magic match up well versus the Bulls. They really do match up well versus it. This is a game I definitely want to see tonight, but I'm going to see if the Magic come out here to play in the first quarter, and I might have to hop on it live. I do think it's a good spot for the Magic, to be honest with you. I like to look up matchups and rotations, and I think they match up really well versus this Bull team. Any thoughts on that, Jordan?
I don't have a play on this game. I'd definitely say I would lean towards the Magic, though, if he made me make a play. Yeah, because you're exactly right. Like the Bulls' front court has been atrocious this year. They've been one of the worst. Like if you're into DFS, play the Magic big men tonight, because Chicago's front court defense has been absolutely atrocious this year. But I just want to back up real quick on Miami and Utah, because I know you guys were talking about the first half. I'm actually on the first half already. And for the reason of that is Miami, of course, has been the number 1 first half offense at home in the entire league, averaging like 124 points per 100 possessions. And Utah has been dead last in that category on the road at like 94. So you're talking about a huge point differential in offenses. I know Conley being out, I think, helps the offense just a little bit for Utah. But I think the Heat first half actually are a pretty good play at -2.5. But as it comes to Orlando, I'm really not ready to pull the trigger just yet because I think the steam is push it up to a pretty sharp line. I think 5 is actually not a bad line, because the Bulls just, I mean, every time I want to fade them, they come out with one of those games that just play really well. And I just can't figure them out this year to save my life. And I love Orlando, but unless I got them earlier, which I did not, I think I might just lay off of it here and just watch this game tonight.
Exactly. Definitely one I want to watch, man. Definitely one I want to watch. Any thoughts on this game, Junior, from the Orlando Magic and Bulls game? I know you watch the Bulls pretty closely, like I do.
Yeah, I got the under as one of my official plays. I got it at 208.5. Like you said, man, I'm not going to just repeat what you said, but the fact of the matter is right now, not even just in the last 5 games, look at the last 10 games. The last 10 games, the Chicago Bulls defensive rating is 100.9, which is number 2 in the NBA, only behind the Bucks. You can't pretend that's not a real thing. So I think the under 2.8 is a good number. Obviously, we know Orlando. I don't hold Orlando's defensive rating against them as much as I normally would, just for the simple fact that they went through a stretch of games where they had some really tough competition. Like in their last 10 games, they played Denver, they played Utah, they played the Rockets, they played the Lakers, they played the Bucks, they played the Raptors. Like that's a really tough stretch of games. So I think that once they get back to playing against competition closer to their own level, they'll be back to a top 10 defensive team. And I think against this specific Chicago team, they're going to show that they're still one of the better defensive teams in the league. So I just think this is going to be a defensive matchup between two teams that struggle to score anyway. 2.5 seems like a lot of points for me.
Exactly. I could definitely see that. See, I didn't even know what you was on yet, and I pretty much talked myself into that one as well with you. I can't say these unders been. And you guys know, I mean, where I've been getting all my cash, man, with these sides, full game side. I haven't messed with first half, first quarter, anything totals. My first total, you know, what I'm saying, beat me in the butt. When was it on Friday or Saturday? One of those. So, and it was the Raptors game, and so like I said, cashed with it yesterday, but that was way too close to call, and the under in the Clippers and OKC game just absolutely ran me hot. Buckets, foul, and Lou Williams just shot fake 3 free. Man, kill those unders, bro. I'm telling you, look. I'm staying. Look, bro, them unders will take some years off your life, man, for real. So I think I'm gonna stay off of them here in the near future. But I will be pissed if the Pacers don't cover today. I'll definitely tell you that. Let's get to the next game, man. A lot of people. I'm sure it's not really a popular side. Spurs versus the Grizzlies. It is a revenge spot. The Grizzlies went over there went into San Antonio and beat them with as straight up by 4 points as an 11-point dog. Valanciunas is questionable in this game. He had 18 points, 12 rebounds, nice little double in that game versus Spurs. They held Jammin to only 9 points. It was crazy, and the Grizzlies still beat them. So they had a great game plan to beat Jammin, and then they saw him in the preseason as well. The Spurs did. So this is really their third look at Jammin. They contain him as really the rest of the team, and they weren't starting. The Spurs weren't in a good form then when they were playing the Grizzlies either. They weren't playing Portal, however you say his name. They weren't really playing him as much. They were still starting Trey Lyles. Deontay Murray wasn't back into his groove yet. Now I think it's a little bit of a different thing, man. The Spurs been playing better lately. They went and got smacked by the Clippers, but we know that was a revenge spot. And that game was actually kind of tit for tat there for a while there through 1.5 quarters. Then the Clippers just like, all right, we stopped playing with y'all, bro. All right, we got to forget. We can't forget y'all beat us the last game by 10. We got to smack y'all up. It's a nice little revenge spot, man. When I saw the line, I'm like, man, I think this is a game that the Spurs going to get. And I think the lines make know it, man. It was sitting at 1 for the Grizzlies first, then flipped to the Spurs -1. Now it's up to 1.5. Spurs taking money here on the road, and we know that the Grizzlies been playing well lately and at the house. Why are they not favored in this spot, man? They already beat the Spurs, right? It's gonna be easy this time, right? I don't think so, man. I think the Spurs gonna get some revenge. They hadn't lost back-to-back games here in the last 10 games. Revenge game J coming out tonight, man. I like the Spurs on the money line -1.5, man. Nobody can like it. You like the Grizzlies? Hey, maybe take them early. They're a damn good first half team. Full game. I like the Spurs to at least possibly make a comeback in the second half. I like for them to win that game and exact some revenge. And like I say, Valanciunas is still a question. We're not even sure he's gonna play in this game, man. What you thinking in this spot, Jordan?
I'm going to be watching the Valanciunas news pretty closely because I think that's going to be the last determining factor for me of the play I'm going to jump on here. And it's going to be the over in the first half. And it's mainly because with Valanciunas off the court, the Grizzlies' pace jumps up a couple of possessions per game. They tend to play. I mean, he's kind of a big plotting big man anyways. With him off the court, it's just a little more it's pretty much common sense that they're going to play a little faster and get up and run a little bit more. But the other thing is the Spurs have been playing absolutely blitzing fast the last 5 games. They have a pace of like 107.5 in the first half of their last 5 games. They haven't really been able to score that much in those 5 games. But like you said, they've been playing better in certain other spots in the full game. So I have to think against this Grizzlies team that doesn't play a whole lot of defense and also likes to play pretty fast in the first half at home. I think we could see an up and down play. I'm really surprised this first half total's under 110 points. We're seeing it steam upwards. It went down actually. It seemed down a little bit from 110 to really. I think I'm going to go ahead and jump on it here because it's just the pace potential of this first half here is outrageous. If the Spurs continue to play as quick as they have been and choose to play up in pace with the Grizzlies tonight, who know they're going to be wanting to push the pace at home, jump out against them early. But if Valanciunas is out, man, that may be the icing on the cake here for me in the first half over this one.
Exactly. Yeah, and I know a lot of people gonna be on the Grizzlies here, but I don't think it's the right side, man. It's that simple. What you thinking, Junior?
I don't have an official play on this game, but I would be interested if I did in a little Grizzlies first half action. I think that just the way that they looked in that last game. I mean, if I get the Grizzlies +1 at home in the first half, I don't see why that would be a bad play. The only thing is that something that Jordan mentioned, I can't really just assume that they're going to be able to handle the Spurs without Jonas Valanciunas. Jonas Valanciunas is still a veteran. When he was on Toronto, he was one of the most important players on that team when they were a 50-plus win team every year. So even though he's on a bad team now, he's not the type of player that's going to come in and give you a lackluster effort. He's still a great professional, and he's still a really good player. If you lose that from the lineup, then that's a totally different team. Even with him, they're not that good. So I need to see what's going on with Valanciunas before I can make that move. The other reason that I would kind of lean towards Memphis in the first half is that something Jordan mentioned. Even though San Antonio is playing a lot faster recently, they're 28th in the NBA in offensive rating in the last 10 games. They're not scoring a lot of points. So I would say I like the home team in the first half more so than the full game because they're just not a good team overall. But they seem to, always play well in first halves, which is the one trend I think that's been a pretty solid constant with the Grizzlies at home.
Exactly. Yeah, the Grizzlies, they do play better at the house. Still scares me that they lost to the Cavs, though. I don't care what nobody says. They was up in their game and in the fourth quarter, and you pissed it away to the Cavs. That's y'all Grizzlies team. So yeah, they're a good team, but they're still a young team and very inconsistent, man. So we'll see here. Like I say, Spurs coming off a terrible loss, man. We'll see whether it's going to be pros or Joes, because I know all the Joes going to be on the Grizzlies here, and looks good, looks easy. Doesn't always play out that way. We got 4 games left, man. 4 games left. Jordan, I'm gonna let you go to it. Did you have a play on one of these last 4 games? Denver and Phoenix. Denver coming off a huge win there. We got the Pelicans versus the Blazers, who possibly could be out without Carmelo Anthony again. We got the Rockets versus the Kings. Kings do not look right now whatsoever. Rockets in a revenge game, and then we got the Timberwolves. Need to see if Cat's gonna be playing tonight, obviously, versus the Warriors, who hadn't won back-to-back games, I don't think, all season. What you got? Anything on one of these first half plays? Yours, Junior, on these, or Jordan, on these last 4 games?
Yeah, I actually do. Real quick, I'll just rapid fire. I was actually leaning towards the Suns until I broke that game down a little bit more, and I think I'm not touching it with Denver coming off the back-to-back. I think that Denver, if they weren't tired, they might be a pretty good play here on the road, but I think them coming off that big win last night, even though they won it in blowout fashion, I'm not touching it. Need to know about Melo before I do anything with New Orleans and Portland, I think. But the one game I do have my eye on is Sacramento here. I know that they have not looked good, but they are also just getting healthy. And I think that now that they've got Bagley and Fox back and getting into their roles, obviously Bagley's still coming off the bench, but Fox started the last game. That's a different look for Houston, I think, than they obviously that first game. And I think that could give them some problems here, and the Kings do play pretty well at home. I just saw them on the road. Obviously, their defense was awful, but their defense does actually pick up a little bit at home. Not too much. It's still pretty bad. But if there is a play that I'm leaning towards in these late games, I haven't locked anything yet, but it's the Kings in the first half. I'm just really weary of the Rockets mostly, and I know they've looked a lot better recently, and James Harden looks absolutely unstoppable, and that's going to be the biggest problem here. But it all comes down to really our boy Bogdanovich, like Jay always says. I'm not sure what his status is tonight, but I think he's still questionable. So I may end up being on the Kings here first half, but it's kind of probably, if he's a game time decision, or if he doesn't play, I'll probably just lay off of it entirely. But if Bogdanovich does play, I might jump on the Kings first half here, plus 2.5.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a revenge spot too, Junior. I mean, Jordan, that one's crazy. I mean, like I said, the Rockets, they're another team that got a game on Christmas Day. It could be exact some revenge here. The Kings, they hadn't looked well right now lately at all, man. Bogdanovich in or out, man. So, like you say, I mean, I was thinking they sit them out to let some other guys get, get their feet wet, because Fox, they work him back in lineup. Them boys just look terrible right now, man. I'm staying far away from the Kings. I ain't even looking to that game. I'm not even messing with this shit, because I know they're still a good team in theory, but coach can come into play. Rockets playing for revenge. I'm not touching it, man. I was close though with the Timberwolves. I know they look absolutely terrible late. I did tell myself that if Cat played or was announced in, that I might look at the Timberwolves heavy here. Glenn Robinson III might end up sitting in this game. Pascal's still questionable as well. I know some people saying probable, some saying still questionable. He had a back issue and then hip. Even Draymond Green said that he think he should sit out a couple of weeks. So they're saying I don't think that isn't probable. I mean, I think the Timberwolves, it could be time for Napier like a little revamp player here lately. Man, the Timberwolves, I know they look absolutely terrible lately, but I mean, going against the Warriors here, it is a revenge game. But I said if Cat was in, man, that I might hop on the Timberwolves. It's just my 2 cents. Not gonna give it to y'all. It's just something what I'd be doing. You know what I'm saying? But I really like the pace here. And so, Junior, what's your plays for the day?
Yeah, I got three. I got the Raptors, Pacers under 211, Bulls Magic under 208.5, and I got the Heat -4 full game.
I like it. I like it, man. Yeah, like I say, yeah. I mean, hey, I could be on the bad side of the Knicks. When me looking at the Wizards who are already out, all their big men, you know what I'm saying? And then Bertans and Isaiah Thomas ruled out. I mean, I had to look towards the Knicks there last night to -3. Obviously Morris look like he gonna sit now. And like Junior, the only one on the show right now, man. But nah, I'm messing with y'all. But yeah, I'm on the Pacers, man. I'm on the Pacers. I love them. It's down to 6.5 now. So look, so I just saw some news. Sabonis listed as questionable. Now Lamb listed as questionable. I'm hoping that Sabonis said he was gonna play. We're gonna need some more inside info for that from my guy Jordan. I don't like that he said he's gonna play. Now he questionable. That's the bullshit, man. But it's all good. Pacers down 6.5. You see how the NBA try to even things up when it's a terrible spot for one team? I can't stand it, man. But I still think the Pacers gonna smash them boys tonight. Like the Pacers, I did get the Knicks -3. Hopefully, if they're tanking, then they'll lose the game straight up. But if they're not tanking, they'll beat this Wizards team, man. With no Bertans, no Thomas, no Hachimura, no Wagner, no size whatsoever. The Knicks team that's still playing still should get it done. And I'm liking the Spurs tonight as well, man. I'm gonna get down on them as well, minus the 1.5. That's my 3-pack for tonight, man. And it's heavy lean to the Timberwolves. Cat plays, I do think they'll beat the Warriors tonight. I don't think they win it back to back, man. D'Angelo Russell had to go off for them that last game. I just don't think it's gonna happen tonight, man. The Warriors play on Christmas as well, man. Y'all know what's up. We're gonna try to get to some money. We are back tomorrow to talk about the Christmas game and not on Christmas, man. So we're gonna try to get to some cash, man. Let's try to make the bookies get all this cash back. Leche, hey, Los bookmakers.